All right. Good morning, Math 2 students. So today we're going to do some examples of regular polygons again. So if you remember, there's two formulas for the area of a regular polygon. The first formula is to find the area of one of the isosceles triangles, right, and multiply it by the number of sides. The second formula you can use is to take the apothem, which is the height of the isosceles triangle, multiply it by the perimeter, and then divide it by 2. Okay, so either one of these formulas would work. I'm going to do one example using isosceles triangles, and then probably two examples using apothem times perimeter divided by 2. So let's get started. Real quick, in this first example, first, if you identify what you're given the side length. So right away, if I'm given the side length is 12, that leads me to find the perimeter right away. Because I'm going to take the side length of 12, multiply it by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 sides. When I multiply that together, I get a perimeter of 96. So I'm halfway done with the apothem times perimeter. So now all I have to do is find the apothem. So to find the apothem, remember we're always going to find the center of the polygon, draw our radii in, the measure of the central angle, remember you're going to do 360 divided by 8, which gives you 45. But then when I drop the apothem in, so this here is the apothem we're looking for, this ends up being 45 divided by 2, which is 22.5 degrees. So now, if I'm looking for the apothem A, and I know this side is 12, I have to find this piece by taking 12 divided by 2, that's 6. Now I know the opposite, looking for adjacent, which is tangent. So we say the tangent of 22.5 is equal to the opposite 6 over the adjacent A. So our apothem is 6 divided by the tangent of 22.5, and that would give us 14.4852. So I have the apothem, I have the perimeter, apothem. Now I just plug it in. So the area of this regular polygon would be 96 times 14.4852, all divided by 2, which would give you an area of 695.3, and that would be centimeters squared. Okay. Now the next example, you're given the radius. So now I have to actually find two things. I have to find the side length, and I have to find the apothem. So let's start with the side length. Okay. When I look for the central angle, 360 divided by 5 is 72. So when I draw this apothem in, 72 divided by 2 tells me this angle is 36. That's 9. So I have to find half the side first and then the apothem. And remember, I'm using this right triangle to find my information. So if I call this x, from 36 degrees, x is opposite, 9 is hypotenuse. So the sine of 36 degrees is x over 9. So that half the side length would be 9 times the sine of 36, which would give me 5.29. Now if this piece is 5.29, then this piece is 5.29. So when I double that, the length of the side ends up being 10.58. Okay. Now the apothem. Okay. If I look at the apothem, that's the adjacent side, and I'm going to use the hypotenuse, which is cosine. So the cosine of 36 is equal to the adjacent side over 9. So A is equal to 9 times the cosine of 36, which gives me an apothem, right, that has a length of 7.28. Now, if I look, I can find the area of the isosceles triangle. So remember, if I find this area right here of one triangle, right, the base of that triangle would be 10.58 times the height would be the apothem, which is 7.28. When I multiply those together and divide by 2, right, you get an area of 38.5. Now, that's the area of one of these green triangles. How many of these triangles do I have in here? Right, I have 5. So the area of the polygon, right, would be 38.5, all right, times 5 triangles, which gives you 192.6, and that would be inches squared. Okay, so that's using the triangle method. If I wanted to use the perimeter method, I would do 10.58 times 5, that's the perimeter, times the apothem, divided by 2, and we're good to go. The last one, here we're given the apothem. We already know that. So we know the apothem is equal to 16. So now, I have to find the side length. Okay? So if I draw the central angle in, count the number of sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we have 10 sides. So central angle is 360 divided by 10, which is 36. But when I divide that by 2, this angle is 18 degrees. Now remember, I just have to find half the side, double it to find the length of the whole side. So I'm looking for the side opposite. I know the adjacent, so we're going to say the tangent of 18 degrees is equal to x over 16. So that half the side length is going to be 16 times the tangent of 18, which is 5.1987, right? So that's 5.1987. And if I double that, right, if I times that by 2, the side length is 10.39. So now, I know my side length is 10.39. So my perimeter, I have 10 sides times 10.39. That would give me a perimeter of 103.9743. So now, the area of this regular polygon. If we do the apothem, which is 16, times the perimeter of 103.9743, and I divide that by 2, right? Multiply, divide by 2, I get an area of 831.8, and that would be inches squared. So, again, you could use the triangle method, or you can use apothem times perimeter divided by 2. It's all up to you, but know you're using trig to find the majority of the pieces. Go ahead, try the assignment, upload your answers, and then check your answers.